My name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman and Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan. And today we're continuing our video series designed to educate and inform the public. So please subscribe to our channel. A lot of people fear the out-of-state divorce or custody challenge. We get that call all the time where people are trying to maneuver the case to Michigan because they live in Michigan. You have to understand one thing. The proper place for a custody case where there's no marriage is going to be where the child is found. So if you have a person who picked up and left and moved to Arizona with the child, you live in Michigan, they live in Phoenix. And the question is, what's the proper place to have this court decide what should be the status of the child? If you want to find out what's the proper jurisdiction, the proper venue, the proper court that should make that decision, who is it? In my example, is it Michigan or is it in Arizona? The answer is it's going to be where the child is found. If that child is found in Arizona because 3 weeks ago she upped and moved, and guess what? That case is going to have to be out there. That's all there is to it. So how does one overcome that? It's a matter of fact. You could file your case in Michigan. You could say in such a situation that the mom was only going on vacation. Mom was supposed to come back. Mom said that she was just going to visit grandparents and she hasn't returned. And therefore, you're filing a custody case and you're demanding that the child come back. That's a maneuver that you might be able to use to overcome that. But if she's already filed out there and you want to file and you don't have the kid is found in a different jurisdiction, the courts are going to have a conversation of where the jurisdiction should lie. And it could be Michigan or it could be Arizona. Don't be surprised if the court says, you know what? The child is found out here. Mother's here. We have jurisdiction over this child. We're going to decide this case. And the court could very well do that. The court could also say different things. In a marriage, for example, the court might say, well, wait a minute. Michigan's the home state of the child. This is where the child's lived for 6 months or more. She ups and goes to Arizona and she's here for a couple weeks. That doesn't establish jurisdiction. We have jurisdiction over this child. It's a marriage. This child was living here for more than the statutory requirements. Michigan should be the case. And in that situation, the courts will have a discussion and determine what the appropriate jurisdiction is. Don't be surprised, though, if the court says, hey, home state is Michigan, it should be in Michigan. So how does one defeat the out-of-state custody case? It's going to depend on whether there's a marriage, whether or not there's a home state established. It's going to depend on certain things. I will tell you this, though. I don't think you should fear it that much or consider that if it's not Michigan, you have to throw in the towel. It's very easy for you to pick up and hire a lawyer from a different state. We at the firm are constantly hired by out-of-state clients to handle Michigan business. And they're not at any disadvantage by being out of state. It's not like years ago, if you were out of state, you're really at a disadvantage. You couldn't meet with your lawyer, you wouldn't have access. Now with Zoom and everything else, you could be on Mars and it doesn't make a difference. So I would not think to yourself, well, if it remains out of state, I've lost. I don't think you should regard that at all. If it ends up being out of state, so what? You'll deal with it out of state. It's not a losing battle. It doesn't mean that the other person's going to get their way. If you have any questions about your particular case, though, of course, reach out and we'll be glad to help you out.